Hello, my name is Autumn. Um, my my mother has gone back to the Jehovah's Witnesses religion. It's a religion that I was raised in until maybe I was about 8 years old. And it's a religion that she was also raised in, although she didn't enter it until I think she was possibly around 8 years old. So she grew up having Christmases and then went to not having Christmases. I am thoroughly against her rejoining this religion. It's brought back a lot of past traumas. The reason why we left the Jehovah's Witnesses in the first place is because my father was an elder, and in 1981 he committed suicide. I believe that he committed suicide because he feared the retribution that would come from getting into trouble for drinking alcohol. And I believe he also stole from his employer while he was under the influence. So as an elder, I think he believed that he was going to be disfellowshipped. And in 1981, the Jehovah's Witnesses began their process of disfellowshipping family members and not being able to talk to them, etc. I think he knew what was coming, and he had a traumatic upbringing. He was a Native American, and our families grew up in the traumas of the boarding schools like the Carlisle Indian School. So that in itself, there was a bit of ostracizing that happened after he died. He wasn't allowed to have a funeral. We had friends over in our house to commemorate his death, but I think I was 5 or 6 years old when that happened, and I was 5. And I remember not having a funeral, and I remember being told that I wouldn't see him in the new system because he was a murderer, because he'd killed himself. So growing up, I have this trauma from this religion. Getting free from it was something that was really hard. It had a lot of guilt because I was raised in this. It was all I knew. I believed everything I'd been told. I believed everything that I was read. The only book that I had growing up was my book of Bible stories. So I had no other frames of reference. And I believed up through high school and university that I shouldn't donate blood, for instance, because that would be against Jehovah's Witnesses, Jehovah's Witches. And I had a boyfriend at the time who talked me out of this rather insane belief. And I'm hurt that my mother would have let us die for this religion. She would have let us die for this belief that we shouldn't have a blood transfusion if it had ever come to that. So how do I deal with knowing this and knowing that even now, if she had any control over my life, and she doesn't because I've got my own child now, but just how I just don't know what to do, basically. I don't know how to manage my feelings about this. I had a cousin who also committed suicide, and she was raised in the religion, and she had a tumultuous relationship with her mother. The Jehovah's Witnesses did not protect her from abuse that she had from a stepfather. They didn't protect her, called her into a room, asked her if she liked it, that sort of a thing. And her mother disfellowshipped her, or told elders about, her, for instance, having premarital relations with her fiance. And so she wasn't allowed to have her friends around for her own wedding because of, being disfellowshipped. So I think she had the same sort of issues with her mother in this cult. She'd gotten out of it and been out of it for a while, but she never knew. I think she knew that she could never fully have her mother's love, because when you're in this religion, all of your love goes to the organization. The organization comes before your kids. The organization comes before your family. The organization comes before your own mental health. So she's rejoined this religion, and every communication that I've had with her is about basically her trying to recruit me back in. So I think my mother is gone. I don't know what to do. If you've had any problems like this, please comment below. I'm reaching out for help from others who've experienced this. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you.